Hi everyone, so today's video is going to be the first video in my Nobody's Perfect series. I've already done the introduction to this, so I will link that in the box below if you want to go and see what these videos are going to be about. And as promised, this first one is going to be all about acne, my acne story, how acne affected me and all of that kind of stuff. This video has been requested so many times and I have been listening to you guys, and I filmed this video probably 8 to 10 times, and every time something's gone wrong, or the last time was basically I managed to say everything I wanted to say in the video and it had that annoying clicking over it that one of my videos had because my camera's new and I didn't really know how to use it, so it's kind of ruined even though I really felt like I'd said everything I wanted to in that one. So yeah, it's quite frustrating, but I'm going to try my best to get it all out again. So just so you know, at the start of this video, this is going to be a long video. I filmed it before and it's been about half an hour long, and I'm going to really try and cut it down. But if you are someone that suffers with bad skin, acne, then you might find this video interesting really if it is quite long, I'm not sure. But even if you're not someone with acne prone skin, or you have blemishes or acne or anything, maybe it's something that you could possibly watch as well, because it's really good to kind of understand about things that affect other people even if they don't affect ourselves, because it makes you more aware of just how much maybe you can hurt someone by making a comment to them or acting in a certain way towards somebody. If you ever feel like you might have said something slightly nasty to someone with acne, or even you feel like you've bullied people because of their skin, then this could be a video that you might find useful as well, to kind of make you think, wow, I shouldn't treat people like that, I shouldn't judge a book by its cover, etc, etc. So yeah, maybe this video can be helpful to different people, I don't know, but I just want to put my kind of story out there and then maybe some tips and advice, and hopefully it can help at least one of you. That would be amazing, and that's my goal really. So yeah, first of all I'm going to tell you my acne story, then I'm going to tell you the things that kind of affected me in an emotional way regarding acne, not just like a physical way. This might be a bit confusing and a bit long-winded, but I'm just going to do my best to get it all out there and tell you exactly what I think and everything. So I started to notice that I was getting spots kind of maybe on my chin and forehead and things when I was in primary school. I think I was probably in my last year, so in year 6, and I was probably about 11 years old, which is, I think personally, quite young to start noticing having spots. So I started to cover up my spots with, you know, like the cover sticks. They're like a little foundation but they look like a lipstick, so I used to cover them up with that, and that kind of helped my confidence a bit. But obviously I was, you know, 11 years old, I wasn't wearing any other makeup other than that, so it was kind of a hassle when you just want to be able to get up and go to school, put your uniform on and do whatever you normally do, but then you have to start worrying about your skin. It's quite young to have to worry about things like that. But nevertheless, I did start to get spots at that age. So through the next few years, 12, 13, 14, 15, they gradually got worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point where I had really bad spots all over my cheeks, forehead, chin, and then kind of some on my neck area as well, but they were mainly targeted on my cheeks, and that's where they were really very sore and painful, and they were kind of under the skin type spots, not so much blackheads and not really that many yellow heads, but it was more these under the skin kind of hot burning spots. So as you probably are aware, if you have spots and acne, and as you probably have done yourself, you start going to like the drugstore and buying, you know, cleansers and toners and moisturisers and scrubs all targeted towards acne. So this is what me and my mum started doing, and we kind of went through most of the ranges without much success. And then after trying those, my mum thought she would try out more of the higher end skincare for me, so like Clinique and stuff. So she actually ended up buying me like a whole Clinique skincare line targeted to exactly your acne prone skin. And I'm not saying anything bad about Clinique, I'm sure it's worked wonders for lots of people, but as I'll talk to you about more later in the video, no amount of cleansing products on my face were going to get rid of the spots, because of the kind of spots that they were. So none of that worked for me. I went to the doctor as I got that little bit older, like, so maybe now I was about 13 or 14, and they were getting really bad and really getting me down. I was given like topical lotions and creams to put onto the spots, which are obviously that bit stronger because they've been prescribed to you. One was even kind of like a little bottle with like a foamy type mesh thing on the top that used to kind of press onto the affected areas. Again, I tried these all for months and they didn't really work. So as the years go on, I went back to the doctors and finally she referred me to a dermatologist. So you have to probably wait about another 6 weeks to actually be seen and get your appointment for the dermatologist. But the day came, I finally went to see him and he looked at my skin, like no makeup, nothing, with a big magnifying glass thing with a light around it, which is very scary and not very nice to have to go through, because when you have acne all you want to do is cover up your skin, not show someone under a big magnifying glass. He basically said that I had severe cystic acne, so that's what I kind of wanted to go on to tell you about. Cystic acne is hormonal, it comes from within your skin, and it's nothing to do with not drinking enough water, eating too much chocolate, putting too much makeup on, all of these things that maybe people can comment on and say, you know, oh well, you shouldn't have worn makeup from a young age, or you should eat more fruit and vegetables, you need to drink this amount of water a day. All of those things, brilliant advice, and I obviously agree with them. You should be doing all of those things and drink lots of water and eat lots of fresh foods and fruit and vegetables. But I could have done all of those things my whole life and I still would have got the acne, because it's genetic, it's a hormonal kind of imbalance in the skin, and I was just going to get them because that was what my skin, like, kind of makeup was like. So, and not my makeup, I don't mean my makeup, you know, your makeup of your body. So I was prescribed a drug by the dermatologist, and this is the part of the video, and this is kind of the main part I've put off making this video, because it's a very controversial subject, and it's a very controversial drug that I was prescribed, and it's called Accutane. In America it's called Accutane, and it has some pretty dangerous side effects which you are made aware of when you start to take them, and basically these side effects are linked to, but haven't been proven, that the tablets have caused depression, and in some terrible, awful circumstances, suicide, which is absolutely like terrifying for something that's just supposed to help clear your skin. It can bring out these side effects. Now, I just want to say flat out that it didn't, thank God, cause any of these side effects in me. The side effects that I got from taking the tablets were dry lips and kind of like dry patches on my arms, but really not very bad side effects that would make me want to stop taking the tablets. But me and my mum, the dermatologist and my dad and everyone kind of discussed whether I should take the tablets, and we agreed that if we saw any of these side effects starting, that I would just stop them straight away and it would not be worth it. I also want to say, because of the drug that I'm talking about, I am not kind of advertising or endorsing it in any way. I would not want to kind of push someone in the direction of going on Accutane when it can cause these side effects, or could possibly cause them in some people, because that is not what I want to do, and I'll put a disclaimer in the box below as well. There's lots of videos and, you know, information online, you can find out more about this. I actually watched a programme a few months ago, it was on BBC Three, called Dying for Clear Skin, which was all about people with acne that had taken Accutane, and in some cases terrible circumstances came from that, and it scared the life out of me, to the point where I couldn't actually believe I'd taken those tablets those years earlier. And if my skin got back to that point again today, I don't think it would be worth it, to be honest, not for the risks that can come from it. So, you know, it's not the kind of thing that you can just go, I'm going to go and take that, and then, you know, you can go off, get it from the chemist and start taking it. It's something you would have to go through a GP and a dermatologist, and then they would have to prescribe it for you, and obviously if you're under 18 you'd have to talk to your parents about it and everything. So I can't just say to you, oh yeah, go and get it, it's great, and you can go and get it. So yeah, that's just kind of like a disclaimer I want to put out there, because it is a really serious matter. But put that to one side for a moment. I'll go on to carry on talking about it. So I was on Accutane for a year, so it's not a quick fix either. It's not like you just start taking them and your skin clears up. And for me it worked. Really luckily, thankfully, it worked and started to clear up the really sore spots on my cheeks. I mean, it started to get to the point where the spots were so painful. I'd come straight home from school, take all my makeup off and kind of like put like a bag of frozen peas or a cold bottle or something on my cheeks because they were so painful. I started to take the Accutane for a year, started to clear my spots up to the point where on my last day of school I managed to not wear any foundation, like any face makeup. I mean, it was our prom I think a couple of days later, so we'd all had spray tans and things, and so I had a bit of coverage on my face but no foundation. And my last day of school, managed to go to school with no foundation or anything, which was such like a happy moment for me, like a real milestone, which sounds probably pathetic to some people, but honestly that's how much it kind of affected me. Over the next kind of 6 months they came back gradually. I was prescribed another 6-month course, which can happen to some people on Accutane, and then this really did help clear them up after that 6-month course. I still get spots now, they haven't completely gone, and obviously because they were so bad I've been left with scarring and a few marks. I haven't got massive like pothole marks on my face, but I do have some kind of scars and things from it. So it wasn't like a magical miracle cure and I have like pure clear skin, but it really got rid of those bad ones from coming back. So yeah, I'd finally stopped taking them when I was maybe about 17 to 18 and was a bit more free of them, if that makes sense. So I am going to go on to talk about my skin from 18 up until now, so like the last 4 years, because I found a few things over the last 4 years that have really kind of helped with more, I'd call it maybe more like acne, teenage acne now. Like I do still get spots and I'm not a teenager anymore, but I do still have those teenage on the chin spots or around my nose, and I do get them on my cheeks sometimes as well. But even though those kind of teenage acne spots can be really, they can still be as kind of damaging to your self-esteem as actual cystic acne can be, but there are ways of dealing with it without having to take like antibiotics or anything like that. So I'm going to do a separate video on that because I found a few things, especially recently, that have really helped. So my next video after this is going to be on that. So hopefully you enjoy that one. I just do want to say that by watching that programme a few months ago, I found out that there are actually 5 or 6, however many different types of antibiotics that your GP can prescribe to you for acne. That can, one of them might be the one that gets rid of your spots, and they're a lot less kind of scary than Accutane. Obviously there's side effects with lots and lots, probably every kind of drug that you could possibly take. It's just weighing up whether the risk is worth more than the gain if it works, kind of thing. But if I'd have known about that at the time, I probably would have tried these different antibiotics first before going on to the Accutane, but that's kind of like with hindsight. But before I finish this video, I would like to talk to you a bit about how acne affects self-confidence and your self-esteem, like I just mentioned. Self-confidence and acne, this is probably the worst part of having acne, I guess, because if it didn't affect your self-confidence then it probably really wouldn't matter and people wouldn't want to cover up their skin. But it just so happens that when you're a teenager, you know, looks are important to you. Shallow as it might sound, there's not that many teenagers out there that don't care about how they look, because it affects you. It affects you in school, it affects you with your friends, and it shouldn't, but it does. And it's hard. I just kind of wanted to like cover my face, so as much as it looks bad, I kind of maybe used my hair as a like security blanket, and it kind of covered up my cheeks a little bit, I guess. So I kind of used to do that for a while. One of the worst things when I was in school that happened was I was sitting in assembly and I was sitting with my friends kind of at the end of a bench, like they were there and I was kind of next to them, and then these girls from my class who didn't really like me that much came and they sat next to me, so I was kind of in the middle of my friends and them, if you like. So I was just sitting in assembly before it started, and I just heard the girl next to me whisper to her friend. She just went, "Have you seen Katie's spots? They're absolutely disgusting." And it was just one of those moments where you just literally want to be sick. And I just remember staring forward. I didn't say anything, I didn't cry, anything. I just looked forward until assembly was over and I just got the hell out of there. And you know, your friends, if you're lucky enough to have supportive friends, will just say it doesn't matter, just ignore it, you know. But I still went home crying that night and told my mum, was really upset, and it hurts a lot, you know. It's something that you don't forget. You get over it, definitely. Like, it doesn't bother me anymore, because with hindsight you can look back and you can kind of also see those girls for what they are now, and sometimes you can sit and just have a laugh to yourself about how you turned out and they turned out, maybe. But it's very hard to say that to your kind of 15, 16-year-old self. Yeah, it was hard. I mean, when I went home that night and I was crying and upset, all I wanted to do was turn back the time, and when she said it, you know, turn around and say something really like sharp-witted and, you know, something back to her that would make her shut up. But, you know, I wasn't that kind of girl. I'm probably still not. I wouldn't say I was shy, but I wasn't, you know, over the top and really confident. So instead of turning around and saying something to her which might have made her stop talking about me, I didn't say anything. But that's, you know, that happens a lot of the time. Oh, I wish I'd said this, I wish I'd said that. But if I could give you advice from, you know, give advice to my younger self, I guess, and anyone out there that it sounds like you're going through something similar, if my story sounds anything like yours, then I just want to tell you that it does get better. There are things out there that you can do, maybe not even go down the Accutane route, but lots of things you can do to clear up your bad skin. And I think maybe it's about starting to like yourself for who you are, not what your skin looks like. I'm not going to lie, I still wear makeup every day because it makes me feel more confident, and I don't personally think that's a terrible thing. Yeah, if you can go out and wear no makeup at all, brilliant, fantastic, and I'd be the first one to give you a massive clap for doing that. But that's just not me. But I do feel a lot more confident in myself now. It'd be stupid for me to sit here and say, yeah, now I go out without makeup all the time, and if I get spots in my face I don't care, because I do. And lots of women, boys, men, they would care, because it's just a part of life. But what you should learn is that the people around you that care about you, your friends, your family, they don't care, they really don't. And what I've noticed as well from friends that maybe have bad skin, you really notice it so much less when it's somebody else. Someone can be an amazing person, they can still have bad skin, and you don't notice it until maybe they start talking about it, and then you kind of look and you think, oh, you have got spots, or you have got something on your face that's, you know, it could maybe not be spots, it could be like a birthmark or things like that, but you don't notice. You notice it so much more when it's yourself. The only people that are going to pick it out are nasty bullies that do it because it's the only thing they can find to pick on you about, and for some reason they feel unconfident in themselves, so that's why that will happen. But you grow up, you learn not to let things like that bother you, and as you get older, honestly, it won't affect you so much. If it does affect you, then you really do need to talk to someone about it, because you might feel stupid. You might think to yourself, well, it's only spots, why would anyone think I'd be this upset about it? But believe me, I know how much it can upset you. So, you know, talk to a parent, talk to a friend, somebody that you trust. And also, you can always message me on YouTube if you want any advice on anything to do with this, and I'd love it if maybe you can talk to each other in the comments below and support each other with any problems that you have, because this is what these videos are all about. And also, as I said at the beginning of the video, if you're maybe watching this and you don't have spots but you think, oh my god, those girls sound like me, I've done something like that, or I've thought something like that about somebody, maybe it can just make you realise that just because somebody has marks, spots, something on their face, it doesn't make them any less of a person than you. And maybe you could just go and say sorry to them, or if you've thought something about someone bad, or you don't talk to them in school because you think they're different to you, smile at them, say hello, ask them how they are, be a genuinely nice person. It's such a big part of school culture to kind of all want to be the same, and everyone, you want to be the perfect one, and the people that are different, they always get left out. But include those people, because they're the people that are going to perhaps grow up to be amazing people. They could be amazing friends to you one day, and one day their skin's going to clear up, and you know, how do you know that you've not missed out on having a great friend just because you didn't want to be friends with someone in school that had bad skin? You know, we're all human, we all think things and make snap judgments on people by the way that they look. That's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just human nature, but it doesn't have to be like that if you kind of take a second to think, hang on a minute, I shouldn't be that judgmental of someone. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there as well, that if it can help people to realise that just because certain people have bad skin doesn't make them any different to you. You know, that was something I wanted to address as well. So yeah, make sure, like I said, you can leave me any messages. I'll try and get back to as many people as possible, and I'll try and get back to everyone that leaves a question in the comments box below as well, because like I said, if I can help any of you guys who are going through the things that I went through, you know, I've suffered with spots for over 11 years now, so I know what I'm talking about and I know how it can make you feel. So yeah, if you want to ask me any questions, then please feel free, and look out for my spot zapper video that's coming out next, that's going to include some things that have really helped to keep my skin under control over the last few years. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching the first in my Nobody's Perfect series. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another video soon. Thanks for watching everyone. Bye!